Perfect.
Good. Sounds beautiful to me.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
All right.
So go ahead and
Break away.
start your thing. You too.
Are they tuning into me?
Yes, they are. We're on.
Good morning. Welcome to our Sunday service. My name is Sarah Lindsay, and I'm the minister of the Unitarian Society of Ridgewood. I'm joined this morning by our Director of Religious Education, Jeannie Namitz, by our Music Director, Ron Levy, by our soloist, Kristen Plumley, and by our tech expert, Jack Lohr. The Unitarian Society of Ridgewood has, for over 100 years, been a place of embracing welcome. Whatever your age, gender expression, sexual orientation, education, economic status, history, or theology, we welcome the fullness of who you are. Ours is a non-creedal faith that shares a deep belief in our interdependence and in the power of love, but does not impose any particular dogma with regards to the divine or the meaning of human living. Each of us in our congregation and in our broader Unitarian Universalist faith relates differently to the transcendent, to the mystery. Each of us shares, however, in our curiosity, our depth of reflection, and our attention to living our lives thoughtfully, meaningfully, and in a way that furthers justice and liberation and freedom for all people. Please check your emails throughout the week so that you can find out all the different ways we have for you to connect with other seekers over Zoom. As always, if you have an idea, please share it. We're excited about new ways to connect. If you are interested in learning more about Unitarian Universalism or about the Unitarian Society of Ridgewood, please visit our website at uuridgewood.org or email us at 113cottage@gmail.com. And please, if you aren't getting a daily email from us with information about that day's Zoom rooms or the weekly Wednesday e-blast, please contact the office so that we can get you set up to receive those emails. Email is, for better or worse, our primary mode of communication these days. Before I make two very brief announcements, our treasurer, Chris Dunnigan, has a few words to share. I'm going to find him and unmute him. Chris, you should be good to go.
Hi, can you hear me? Hi, everybody. This is your friendly USR treasurer. The Board of Trustees just wanted me to give sort of a 2-minute preview before I turn this back over to a formal service. For starters, I'm not here to twist anyone's arm or guilt trip anybody, but as many of you know, we have a fiscal year that runs July 1st through the end of June, meaning that we're coming to the end of this fiscal year and beginning a new one. As such, the Board of Trustees is going to be presenting a budget to the congregation for next year in the coming weeks. And this is not going to be a typical budget year. We have sort of two revenue holes to fill for next year. First, we don't know when we're going to be getting rentals again. And second of all, a big thank you to everyone who has already participated in the pledge drive. But just so people understand, our pledge drive is still substantially below what it came in as last year. Those two holes at this point in time, depending on the assumptions we make, are going to be anywhere from $60,000 to $140,000 combined. Now the board has been aware of this for at least 6 to 8 weeks, and we've been working on it, and no final decisions have been made. But I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has pledged already. If you happen to have some money burning a hole in your pocket, you can always increase your pledge. And we understand these are trying times and not everyone feels comfortable pledging, but if you do feel comfortable pledging and you are and you have not yet pledged, you are also free to send us a pledge. Anyway, that's pretty much the spiel, but we are aware of the situation and we're working on it to create a budget that's consistent with sort of our Unitarian ethos and yet works mathematically. So thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Then I have two quick announcements. My first is that next week we will be celebrating the Flower Celebration, which is that annual Unitarian Universalist ritual. You should have already received, or you will receive in the next couple of days, an envelope, a manila envelope from the USR office with some supplies to help you participate in the Flower Celebration. If you don't get an envelope from us, please use that 113cottage@gmail.com email and let the office know, and we'll make sure that you get what you need. Finally, we are actually going to continue with our implementation of our new circle structure. So this is going to mean a couple more meetings before the end of this congregational year. That first next meeting will be the welcoming and participation circle. That's the circle that deals with membership, publicity, those kinds of things. That circle is going to meet for its first meeting on the after services on Sunday, May 17th, with Jeff Somerville as the facilitator. We will send an email with more details, but if that's the area that excites you about congregational life, please plan to be there on the 17th. Thank you for joining us this morning. We're having a small technical glitch. Kristen, I tried to unmute you.
In Unitarian Universalism, our chalice is a symbol of hope in challenging times. It is a beacon of light in moments of uncertainty. If you have a chalice at home, we invite you to light yours now as we light ours. And join us in the words that will be up on your screen. We light this chalice for the light of truth, the warmth of love, and the energy of action as we gather together in the circle of community.
Now I invite you to take a deep breath and listen. You can hear my voice, but what else can you hear? What sounds do you hear in your space when you get very, very quiet? Can you hear birds outside, the wind, the sounds of beloved family in another room of the house? Can you hear your own breath? Breathe in and listen to our centering sound. The sound will rise, grow, and then fade. Try to listen carefully, catching the nuances, the complexity of its tones as the sound moves through our shared space. Breathe and listen. Good morning, friends. I dearly miss hearing you say good morning back to me, I have to confess. Happy Mother's Day to any of you marking this special day. It can be a complicated one, as we will explore a bit later in our service, but it is a day that originates with a call to peace, and that hopefully celebrates all the best of human caretaking and loving. Those motherly values we honor on this day are indeed the values of nurturing, healing, comforting, creating. Our service this morning celebrates these values too. When we decided to hold a service devoted to the healing power of music and art, I asked Carol Wolf, who runs our Cottage Place Gallery, to share some thoughts with me. As you may know, normally in our space on Cottage Place, we have an art show every month. Local artists work with Carol to hang their pieces on our walls, and all month, all of us enjoy having our service space deepened by these works of creation. Carol wrote to me, sharing how much she misses the gallery, both its physical space and what it means to offer our walls to artists. Carol wrote, "Part of the joy is watching the congregation enjoy each new show on Sunday mornings. But one of the really wonderful things about the gallery is working with an artist to hang their show. Sometimes it is the first time an artist has ever had a solo show. Often they will sigh with relief that it all came together. then always, they really start to take in what they've done. USR's gallery is a profound treasure, and I am missing it and the artists. Embedded in what Carol shared with me is the idea that art and music are not simply beautiful creations for us to consume. They are acts of creation that are recreated each time they are played or arranged on new walls for new folks to hear or see. We don't consume them, we experience them. From the beginning spark of an idea to the last time a piece of music is heard or an artwork is seen, works of musical and visual art are mutual acts of creation, born from need and creativity, heard and seen anew each time, offering to all of us the opportunity to deepen our human connections across time and space. So this morning, let yourself connect. Let yourself experience healing and comfort. Let yourself be part of a process of creation. It is good to be with you.
There we go. Please join us in singing hymn number 326, Let All the Beauty. Let all the beauty we have known illuminate our hearts and minds. Rejoice in wonders daily shown, in faith and joy and love that binds. We celebrate with singing hearts the loveliness of sky and earth, the inspiration of thy arts, the miracle of every birth. Life's music and its poetry surround and bless us through our days. For these we sing in harmony, together giving thanks and praise.
Good morning, everyone. Time for our sweet pea update. You can see the trellises and the sweet peas are climbing and doing well. Today, I would like to share a story with you called Maybe Just Beautiful. And here's our story. In the heart of a gray city, there lived a girl who loved to doodle, draw, color, and paint. Every time she saw a blank piece of paper, Mira thought to herself, maybe. And because of this, her room was filled with color and her heart was filled with joy. On her way to school one day, Mira gave a round apple to Mr. Henry, the owner of the shop down the street. She gave a flower to Ms. Lopez, the lady with the sparkling eyes. She gave a songbird to Mr. Sachs and a red heart to the policeman who walked up and down the streets. On her way home, Mira taped a glowing sun onto the wall, hiding in the shadows. Her city was less gray, but not much. The next day, Mira saw a man with a pocket full of paintbrushes. He gazed at the wall. He looked at her son. He held his fingers up in a square and peered through them. He said thoughtfully. What do you see? Mira asked. Maybe something beautiful, the man replied. Then, just that, he dipped a brush in the paint. Bam! Pow! Ha! The shadows scurried away. Sky blue cut through the gloom and the gray. The man's laughter was like a rainbow spreading across the sky. Who are you? Mira asked. I'm an artist, a muralist. I paint on walls. I'm an artist too, she told him. He handed Mira a brush. Then come on. Mira dipped it in the loudest color she saw. Yowie! Like the wall lit up like sunshine. As the man drew pictures on the bricks, Mira added color, punch, and pizzazz. Soon Mr. Sachs joined in. Then came others. Everyone painted to the rhythm. Salsa, merengue, bebop. Even Mira's mama painted and danced the cha-cha. The whole neighborhood became a giant block party until the policeman walked up. Excuse me, he said. The music stopped. Mira put her brush down. They were surely in trouble. The officer cleared his throat and then paused. May I paint with you? He asked. So Mira handed him a paintbrush and the music started again. Teachers and papas jumped in, babies too. Mira and the man handed out brush after brush. Color spread through the gray streets. So did joy. Wherever Mira and the man went, art followed like the string of a kite. After they colored the walls, they painted utility boxes and benches. They decorated sidewalks with poetry and shine. And everyone danced. Together they created more beautiful than they had ever imagined. When their clothes were spattered with a million colors, everyone sat down to rest, except the muralist. His eyes sparkled. You, my friends, are all artists, he told them. The world is your canvas. He smiled wide, then pulled everything together in big, sweeping motions. His paintbrush was like a magic wand. When he was finished, Mira added one more bird way up in the sky. Maybe, she thought, just maybe, just beautiful.
Good morning. I'm Sally Lewis, President of the Board of Trustees. When we gather, we each make an offering from the bounty we are grateful to enjoy. Until recently, we have shared these gifts with others in order to further USR's goals and aspirations. We've aided worthy nonprofits, local social justice efforts, programs in Patterson, and other worthy places in order to make a better world. But suddenly, things have changed. And we are in the extremely uncomfortable position. I'm choked up about it. Of having to look out for our own needs so that USR's future is sustainable. As the flight attendant advised us when we were all traveling, we must put on our own oxygen masks before we assist others. On your screen, you will see a variety of ways to make your offering. If you are a member or friend on Realm, you can give there. Others can use the Donate Now button on our website, mail a check into the office, or text UU Ridgewood Plate along with the dollar amount that you would like to give to 73256. All of the information that you need is on the screen. Thank you again for giving generously.
I want to be where the music comes from, where the chalk stops, where it's now. I want to be with the friends around me who have found me, who show me how. I want to sing to the early morning, see the sunlight melt the snow, and I want to I want to wake to the living spirit here inside me where it lies. I want to listen till I can hear it. Let it guide me and realize that I can go with the flow unending, that is blending, that is real. And I want to feel. I want to walk in the earthly garden, far from cities, far from fear. I want to talk to the growing garden, to the devas, to the deer, and to be one with the river flowing, breezes blowing, sky above. I want to love.
Good morning. I have some musical reflections. There are two means of refuge from the miseries of life: music and cats. Albert Schweitzer. After silence, that which comes nearest to expressing the inexpressible is music. Aldous Huxley. Music can name the unnameable and communicate the unknowable. Leonard Bernstein. There are many things I absolutely adore about singing, but I have two top favorites. One is the feeling I get from singing, literally. When I sing, there's a buzzing in my throat, in my chest, in my head. It's exciting and calming at the same time. And when I sing in front of a full orchestra, that feeling is amplified 100-fold because all the instruments are making their own vibrations, and so the buzzing is out of control. I wish you could all feel it. My other top favorite is the power of communication that music possesses, as the quotes that I read express. This power is why my heart swells up every time I hear the second movement of the Shostakovich Piano Concerto No. 2, or the Der Rosenkavalier Final Trio, Der Rosenkavalier, or the Anita Maria duet from West Side Story. 12 years ago, I was a soprano soloist in a Messiah in Helena, Montana. The performance took place in a beautiful church, and it was packed, and the soloists were right up against the front pews. There was an elderly woman in a wheelchair sitting not more than 10 inches from me. In the middle of one of my solo pieces, I Know That My Redeemer Liveth, I glanced up and saw her staring rapturously at me, a single beautiful tear gliding down her cheek. I don't know what the woman was thinking about, but all my years of training and experience had to take over at that moment, and I went on autopilot survival mode in order to keep singing. I was overwhelmed that the music I was helping to make had that much power over another human being. I think music itself is healing. It's an explosive expression of humanity. It's something we are all touched by. No matter what culture we're from, everyone loves music. Billy Joel. The video you're about to watch demonstrates the magical universality of music through the power of the pentatonic scale. Now, if you don't know what that is, it doesn't matter. You'll understand the video anyway.
Talking about expectations. Watch. Ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. interesting to me about that is, regardless of where I am, anywhere, every audience gets that.
Okay. Good morning. Happy Mother's Day. And don't worry, be happy. The arts are an outgrowth and expression of our human ability to contemplate our own existences. For example, the visual arts celebrate our ability to see and enjoy color, patterns, and forms. Dance celebrates our delight in movement and the pleasure of watching beautiful, healthy bodies navigate space and time. Music incorporates rhythms in our environment, with the heartbeat perhaps as the point of departure, and sounds, including the pitches that fall within the thresholds, high and low, of human hearing. The arts help give depth and meaning to our lives. They also help us to overcome the existential feeling of isolation and loneliness engendered by being locked in our own separate bodies. In her important book, The Power of Music, author and filmmaker Elena Manis discusses the psychological manifestation of the phenomenon of entrainment. In this case, a brain function which compels us as individual beings to emulate, to think and act as a group, kind of a social behavioral glue. Think of the irresistible urge to tap your feet to music with a strong beat. This is also why television shows add a laugh track to comedies to encourage and reinforce participation in the humor. Entrainment is a powerful Darwinian aspect of evolution, a physiologically embedded function which ultimately helps us to maintain mental health, empathy, and connectedness. Now, I've known Jamie Bernstein, daughter of composer-conductor Leonard Bernstein, for many years. Last year, Kristen and I had the great pleasure of performing with Jamie during an event promoting her new book, Famous Father Girl. It's a great read. Jamie tours the world talking about her illustrious parents and collaborating with symphony orchestras in the role of narrator and commentator. This morning, we are thrilled and privileged to have Jamie with us, albeit virtually. I've asked Jamie to share her thoughts about the ability of music to comfort us and connect us during these difficult times. Jamie?
Hello, Ridgewood Unitarians, and happy Mother's Day. Well, as happy as possible anyway, in these very difficult times of ours. Not everyone in this world is a mother, but everyone had a mother, came from a mother, whether they knew that mother or not, whether they grew up with that mother or not. Not everyone necessarily loves their mother, but everyone does experience the longing to love, to be loved, to connect, starting with the person from whose body they emerged and going forward from there to all the other relationships that ensue in a lifetime. This longing to connect is so strong in all of us that it's exactly what makes quarantining and lockdown and social distancing so very hard. I don't know about you, but I sure could use a hug right about now. So right now, we have to turn to other sources to express our impulse to connect, to give voice to our collective longing for a world in which we open our hearts to each other. This is where artistic expression comes in. Any person who tells you the arts are not crucial to our very existence is a person in emotional denial, a person who is afraid to be vulnerable. But you know, if you put on the right song, every human being can be reduced to tears. I really believe that. And my father, Leonard Bernstein, believed it too. There was a part of him that felt that if he could just write a beautiful enough melody, he could heal the world. He didn't literally believe that, obviously, but it was the impulse to heal, to comfort, to raise people up that drove him forward as an artist. And of course, it doesn't have to be music that can put us in touch with our deepest humanity. It can be a sculpture, a poem, a ballet, a film. My father worked all his life in every way he could to try and make the world a better place. And he did it with his own music, too. Take the Bernstein work we all know best, West Side Story, and just think about the opening notes of the song Somewhere. Combined with Stephen Sondheim's simple, evocative lyric, that upward-reaching opening interval expresses the precise longing we all feel for a world powered by kindness. On this Mother's Day, I'm thinking a lot about one of the last things my mother said to me as she lay dying. She said, "Always remember, kindness, 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 kindness." So let's all cling to kindness in this very harsh time and find all the art we can to express our longing for it. Be well, be safe, and here are the first few lines from my father's song with its upward-reaching opening interval. There's a place for us, somewhere a place for us, peace and quiet and open air, wait for us somewhere.
Somewhere a place for us, with peace and quiet and open air, a place we reach together, a place we reach with kindness and understanding, a place we reach with love. Together, every Sunday, we try to cultivate compassion for each other and the wider world when we spend time in quiet contemplation of the challenges and joys faced in our community and beyond it. Please join me now for our time of meditation and prayer and reflection. Find as comfortable a position as you can for your body. And then take a deep and slow breath. Try to find a quiet space in your mind, a still place in your soul. And breathe in slowly through your nose and softly out through your mouth. Take a deep breath. This morning, as we gather into our silence and reflection, we hold in our hearts all those working to heal and protect in this time of pandemic. All those suffering, those who are sick, those who worry for their loved ones, those who grieve lost loved ones. We also hold in our hearts Ahmaud Arbery, the young Black man shot in Georgia, and we also hold the family and friends that mourn him. Ahmaud's senseless murder breaks our hearts yet again, reminding us that in this country, Black and brown bodies are seen as a threat, as disposable. Reminding us once again that we have so much work to do to bring equity and justice for people of color in this nation. Reminding us that at stake in the new world we hope to create after this pandemic is nothing less than the very lives of our siblings of color. We grieve and we recommit ourselves to a world of justice, liberation, and safety for us all. Take a deep breath. Today is also Mother's Day. And so our thoughts turn to the complexity of motherhood. We gather with gratitude, with sorrow, with compassion, and with hope. We give thanks for those mothers we have known, mothers by blood or of the heart, mothers who go by that name or who we call auntie, grandma, friend, teacher, mentor, people of compassion and gentleness and love. We give thanks for those who have embodied the best of motherhood in our lives. And we sit in sorrow with those whose relationships with their mothers are fraught, violent, unkind. We hope that they might find peace. We sit in sorrow with those whose beloved mothers have died. We hope that they find ways to hold tight to cherished memories. And we sit in sorrow with those mothers whose children have died. We hope they know their gifts of mothering are still needed in this world. This morning, we lift up with compassion those who wish to be mothers in body but who aren't. Those who never wanted to be mothers but became them anyway. Those who have had to make difficult decisions for the sake of a child. Those who long for a mother they have never known. And those who mother now in ways they never expected to. With hope, we pray for a world in which all choices are respected, to birth a child or not, to raise a child or not. We pray for a world in which human life, no matter color, creed, gender expression, or age, a world in which human life is valued and loved. With hope, we pray for a world in which the word mother is understood broadly, not narrowly, conveying kindness, compassion, nurturing, and love. As we sit together in silence, I invite you to speak aloud into your space the names of mothers you miss, mothers for whom you are grateful, mothers to whom you offer compassion in these strange times. The world needs all of us to embrace the best of mothering now more than ever, offering comfort, healing, consideration, and care to this earth and all of its living creatures. May we find ways each day to be the loving caretakers we are called to be. May it be so.
Sleep, my child, and peace attend you all through the night. I who love you shall be near you all through the night. Soft the drowsy hours are creeping, hill and vale in slumber sleep. while the moon her watch is keeping all through the night, while one half the world is sleeping all through the night. Even while the sun comes stealing, visions of the day revealing, breathes a pure and holy feeling all through the night.
Makes me very happy. Many of you know that before I turned to ministry full-time, I earned my doctorate. But what you may not know is that while my degree is in religious studies, I spent much of my academic career, college and graduate school, studying visual arts. I had taken painting, drawing, and pottery as a child and youth, though I was never that good. And I had loved art history as a high school student. I found in college that my interest in history was really an interest in the ways religious beliefs impacted the course of humankind. And my interest in art history was, I discovered too, fueled by the same implacable desire to understand what drives people, not only to wage war or seek power, but to create images of lasting beauty, compose songs that bring tears or joy, build soaring structures that attempt to touch the sky. Across the world for thousands of years, art, music, and architecture have been driven by religion, by philosophy, by a desire to convey deep meaning, or at least to invite others into contemplating deep meaning. Along with all of that comes the ability of music, as Jamie Bernstein said, to comfort and heal. And so too can visual art heal and comfort. There's nothing like returning to a favorite piece of art, its color or contours familiar, its story resonant in some way. For me, one such piece is Auguste Rodin's sculpture, The Hand of God, which I think we'll be able to see. Yeah. It has some Rodin hallmarks with a combination of smooth and rough, that strong hand. This beautifully carved hand rises out of the rough-hewn stone, and in the hand are intertwined bodies, themselves not fully finished. There's such a temptation to reach out and touch that marble hand that cradles those bodies. It's so human, and it lifts up so beautifully human touch and holding. This particular piece calls me back again and again, because it captures, for me, my deep belief that creation is ongoing. I don't believe in a God that created us and all of this, but I believe in creation. I believe in the earth's ability to create. I believe in our ability as humans to create. I look at this and I see my hand, your hand, a human hand creating, pulling itself from the unknown to create beauty out of raw material, just as an artist does, just as a composer does, just as we humans do every day when we get up and tend to our lives, tend to our deep selves, our relationships, our homes, the wider world. That piece comforts me because it reminds me exactly of the power inherent in these hands, in all of us, in our minds and souls and hearts and bodies, each and every one of us. We have the power to create something beautiful with our lives in this world, for and with each other. Being reminded of that is, for me, the ultimate comfort. It strengthens me for the work ahead, the work of nurturing the spark of vision for a new world, the work of creating that new world, the work of tending to it lovingly. This morning, as the close of our service, we offer you images of artwork from throughout history and from around the world. May you find comfort in the colors and textures and in the meaning you create as you encounter these pieces. Comfort and healing come to us in many forms. Music that soothes our tired souls, art that restores our weary minds, human care that opens our bruised and battered hearts, connection and love that move us to express and to create beauty. This community, our community, brings us all of these. The comfort and healing of art, of music, of care, and of loving connection. Quarantine or no quarantine, this community will always bring us these. It's the heart of who we are. It's why we exist. May you always find comfort and healing in the embrace of this gathered people. May you bring comfort and healing into the world. And may we keep creating something beautiful together within our community and well beyond it. May it be so.
Take care of this house, keep it from harm. If bandits break in, sound the alarm. Care for this house, shine it by hand, and keep it so clean the glow can be seen all over the land. Be careful at night, lock all the doors. If someone makes off with a dream, the dream will be yours. Take care of this house, be always on call. Care for this house, it's the hope of us all. Take care of this house, keep it from harm. If bandits break in, sound the alarm. Care for this house, shine it by hand, and keep it so clean the glow can be seen all over the land. Be careful at night, lock all the doors. If someone makes off with a dream, the dream will be yours. Take care of this house, be always on call. Care for this house, it's the hope of us all. Please join us in the words for extinguishing our chalice. They can be found on your screen. We extinguish the flame, but may the light of truth, the warmth of love, and the energy of action burn bright in our hearts until we are together again.